All right, YouTube. So yeah, going ahead and getting into the builds. Maybe you summoned for OFA Deku. Maybe you pulled him. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you just need some builds. Here are some few which we will be going over. So when it comes to OFA Deku, you actually get two skins for free just from playing ranked. The leather style OFA. And for the leather style OFA, for the first version, you can see I'm actually running Willpower. I think Willpower is better than Critical Perm. I think Critical Perm is overrated and needs a buff. As well as Compression Magic, because it's all we have, but I do recommend Warp Heal, which is pretty cracked. You can see that we have a GP attack power, melee attack power, HP attack power with double special action reload into a melee attack power, and you want this twice to be a melee attack power as well. We're increasing our max HP and GP for a little extra survivability, and we're able to withstand fatal attacks due to Willpower. It's just such a good build. You can go in unworried, knowing that you are going to be able to get out. I have a better time getting out with Willpower equipped than I do with Critical Perm, which we'll go over in a little bit. But I do believe that if you want to be tanky, Willpower is one of the best tunings, and then naturally a bunch of HP and GP increase is what you will want. We then have his OFA final battle version, and we have a few builds here, starting with a Perception Fixer build. Now, I actually just swapped Fixer out, or Critical Permeation out with Fixer. The reason I did this is because Critical Permeation is dog shit. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. Critical Permeation is actual dog shit. So, in this game, when you take a certain amount of damage, you become immune. You get a whiteout phase. But if you take too much damage, you get knocked down. So like a single punch from Yellow Kirishima can knock your back into the ground. And by the time you get up from that, Critical Perm is more than halfway ran out already, meaning you don't even get to take effect of the Critical Perm. You don't get to heal. If you try to run with any of your abilities, it cancels Critical Perm. And once again, if you get hit with an ability hard enough, it's going to knock you down into the ground, and by the time you get up, Critical Permeation is already halfway over, keeping you from being able to heal. So I do think it's overrated. I do think it needs a bit of a buff. I don't think it should be activating until you are up on your feet after your guard breaks. So it shouldn't be activating with the whiteout phase that already happens. There's a lot of bugginess. I will say Quasi is better than Critical, but Perception is extremely good, and that's why I'm not running Quasi Permeation. Perception makes it to where when you land a melee attack, you actually get vision on the enemy. Very good for runners, very good for those people that come in, think they're finna get a free elim, think they're finna third party, just come out of nowhere, think they're big bad shit, and then trying to run away. This is very good for those, because as long as you're chasing them down and hitting the melee, you're refreshing Perception and keeping them highlighted. You can see this isn't a full build, but we do have access to two reds, melee attack power, GP attack power. You want this to be All Might's melee attack power, and melee defense is good here, but you want Endeavor's GP attack power, HP defense, in my opinion. Then we got some max GP, max HP to give us a little survivability. We got Quark Y reload because we want to get plus ultra a little faster, as well as be able to stay in gear shift longer and more often. This is a very good build. Like I said, if you don't want perception, you can put Quasi on, but perception is kind of good. Fixer is also good. It buffs all of the tunings in the slots, same column as it, making it to where you do more GP attack power, you get more run speed, you get more melee defense, and it's better than Critical Permeation, in my opinion. We then have the highest damaging build, one of the highest damaging builds, which is Transblow Embrittlement. On this build, everyone knows what Embrittlement does. Transblow is S tier in my opinion. It makes it to where it puts the enemy in a trance state after landing a melee, making them brainwashed so they can just sit there and take it. They have no other choice. Embrittlement inflicts defense down, making you take more damage. You can see we got GP attack power, melee attack power with a bunch of cooldown and defense. Mainly these two tunings right here carry this build. If you want a lot of high damage, a lot of free damage, Transblow Embrittlement. I wish he had a Perception Embrittlement build, but you know, we can't decide that. We then also have a stunner build, as I call it, as we have electrification and Transblow. Electrification making it to where when we break their guard, we get electrified. So when we go in on the enemy, we can stun and electrify them. This is one of the reasons shock resist is so good, in my opinion. We are comboing this with Transblow, which we just went over. So y'all can see, you know, you go in, you brainwash them, you make them take that damage, you break their guard, you go back in, you electrify them while stunning them with Transblow at the same time, and you can see it's just a lot of power basically at the end of the day. 2 reds, GP, HP, got some melee defense. You want Endeavor's tuning whenever you can, and you want All Might's tunings whenever you can, just to further increase that damage output. We then have the sisterly builds. Now, to be honest, I was actually using Space Hop before this. Space Hop is extremely good on him, in my opinion. If you want to use Space Hop, you 1000% can. Smokescreen, plus Fajin, plus Gear Shift, plus Space Hop, you're jumping to the moon. There's a toxic Shinzo Space Hop combo going around right now. This helps you deal with the Shinzos. You can just do the same thing Shinzo does. You're going to jump way higher past him, and he's not going to be able to do that Space Hop slam down beta bullshit ass combo like you've been seeing a lot of Shinzos do. You can also see we get a lot of power with it. 4 reds, a couple of yellows, couple of blues. You can see we got melee attack power, we got Endeavors, you got HP, GP, melee, and Quirk B. Now you can make this Embrittlement if you want, right? Go in, have Embrittlement GP sucker. You can also do Indestructible. I've only played a couple games with Sister Lee, I'm gonna be honest. I don't prefer it. I prefer Space Hop so far. Indestructible is cracked though. If you're able to KO opponents, you get hyper armor and resistance to flinch. Symbol of Peace is alright, but you know, he can't really get too many things right here. And that's really what's holding this build back, is the blue tunings, in my opinion. But it's a decent build. It's a decent build. Whatever you want to run here, you pretty much can, right? Originally, it was going to be an alpha build, and that's why we were running Space Hop. So we had a bunch of reds and Quirk alpha attack power. But yeah, we changed it to a Quirk B and put Sisterly on. Okay, so then with the assist gear, we got an Embrittlement build. You can see all the melee power we have. With the purple, you can use Special Reload, Revenge, Technical, Lawyer, HP Sucker. It's all kind of whatever, you know. But then right here on this blue build, we do actually get access to one of the builds that I wanted, which you can use Willpower, you can use Trance Blow, plus Quasi or Perception, giving you an OP combo right there as well. Hope this helped y'all out. If it did, please hit that subscribe button, leave your comments down in the below. Appreciate y'all. Peace out.